Welcome to Cobra Kai. This isn't your local dojo. This isn't your mama's house. There is no crying, no quitting, and no being a You will strike first, you will strike hard, and you will show absolutely no mercy.
We got fancy equipment now. No more.
Good.
Hold it up. I got an actual little mic stand. So.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Look at look at the production value going up. And do you know why the production value went up? All because of fucking the No Mercy podcast, man. That's the only reason production value's been able to go up. It's because of all these outstanding fucking listeners that we have out there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the No Mercy podcast. As you heard Brian said, there's no fucking around here. There's no fucking pussies. We don't fucking bullshit. We strike hard. We strike fast. Unless I get a cold, in which case I take a week off.
Yeah.
And as some of you guys can hear, I'm still getting over it. I'm your host, Kyle Malone, along with my co-hosts, Christine Malone and Manny Gomez. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Pretty good. No inspiring intro this week?
No, not really. Like I said, I'm still getting over the cold, and I had my my burst of energy there for that initial opening. No fancy nicknames for everyone today, but that's all right.
I'm just teasing you.
We got episodes 7, 8, and 9 for you guys to listen to us overanalyze, look too deep into, and do all the fun stuff that you do with your friends. And we're doing it with our friends. We just decided to let you guys in on the conversation.
Yep.
So episodes 7, 8, and 9 finally really get to something that we've harped on, especially Manny, which is all of a sudden some adults are going to listen to some kids. Some bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a big theme about the way older generations did things, do things, see things, from season 1 all the way through this, and how that affects the kids, plus those parents' past grudges and all that. And that's almost a reality too. Not that I think we need 16 and 17-year-old kids being CEOs of Fortune 500 countries or in the House or Senate, but it is a truth that the older we get, the harder it is for us to maintain a touchstone with the current generation's take on American culture. The older we get, the further away we get from it. It's natural. Everyone will do it. Every single one of us complained about either our grandparents not getting it or our parents not getting it. Their parents did the same. Their parents did the same. Our kids will do the same to us. Manny's kids probably already do it to him. My kid does it to me. Lucas already thinks he knows more than we do, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a human thing, Manny, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, just because the level of experience has you looking at the world in a different perspective. So, you know, you've experienced the way something works, and somebody younger who may not have gone through it only has it as a perception or what they've seen by media or what they've been described by others, not by experience themselves. So, you know, it's kind of like that old Mike Tyson saying, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Once you get punched in the face, you learn that things are a little bit different. And I think that's the case. But yeah, I mean, it's almost like a rite of passage, like you were saying. Grandparents, parents, the kids. It's just part of growing up.
And it's funny because we hear a lot in America today, on a lot of issues. Media loves to get youth out in front of the camera. Youth looks better than old. Youth sounds better than old, both in the ears and the way that they talk, the words that they use, and we can see that, but with it comes, like you said, a lack of experience for some things, while having a different experience with other things. And what is supposed to happen is the groups are meet in the middle, and that's how you get good families where, we took what our parents did to us and we said, okay, this works, this doesn't work, and we combine it into the new thing for our kids. And that's how things are supposed to go, but that's not what happens in the Valley. The grown-ups hold on to their grudges. They stick with their ways. They want their ways to continue on. And this season, while it's, I think, spent a little too much time potentially setting up season 4, definitely starts to tear at that thread, and I'm happy about that. So, anybody else got anything to say about this before we start ripping into these episodes?
Well, like, just going off on what you said, you're never too old to learn something, and I do like how the adults, they're kind of learning, it's nice.
Yeah, some of the adults seem to be learning. Manny?
Yes, yeah, well, Johnny specifically, I feel, is learning more than others. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to specific parts. I'll tell you why I don't necessarily agree that LaRusso, or well, obviously Creasy's not covering anything, are not really on that same journey as Johnny is. So it's fun because we do get to explore it in these 3 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. Episode 7 is called Obstaculos.
It's pronounced obstáculos.
Oh, obstáculos. There you go. My brain is been more recently geared towards Japanese vowel pronunciations.
We're out of because we haven't been around the languge for a while. So for us, it's like Spanish is just something
I've lost some of the proper vowels and the ability to go between them as easy as like when I lived in Arizona and stuff. But it starts out with a dream sequence. We don't know it's a dream sequence. We see Tori come to Miyagi-Do to confront Sam. I thought it was real, dude. I did. I really thought like chick is got venom in her veins from Kreese. He's like giving her that berserker thing that the dark elf takes. Kreese has done that to Tori, and someone else we'll talk about in a little bit too. And I could see her drowning Sam to near death. Like, I believed the character was capable of that. Did you, Christine?
Yeah, maybe, because it just seemed kind of extreme. Like the high emotions should have fizzled out. So at first when I was watching it, like, this can't, like, what the hell? This is you need to calm down, girl. You need some help. So yeah.
Manny, did you think Tori was actually capable of what you were seeing, or did you think it was something like a dream when you saw it?
while I thought that it was something that was possible, I did think it was a little bit out of character, because what we've seen with Tori so far is her trying to really stay out of the limelight, trying to really, stay away from all of those people. And so I mean, when it opened up, I was like, oh dang, like she's crazy. But like I said, a little bit out of character from what we've seen before, because she's really trying to hold down her own place and everything. And I think the only reason she even went back was just because of the fact that Kreese was able to secure her household. So it's kind of a thank you more than I actually really want to be here.
At that point, maybe, but I think she's a true believer. As we'll see, potentially see coming up, but we do get Sam waking up and realizing it's a dream. It's then there's training with Miguel has happened. Miguel's able to walk. He's trying to train and wants to do things. And I really like the scene and everything, but it reminded me of what you said last week. Like, we've only got a few episodes left. I don't want to see Miguel all of a sudden be able to, fight in a tournament. We didn't get a real good time reference in this episode as far as like how much recovery time has happened, but we do know that by episode 9 that we are at Christmas time, and that the accident happened on the first day of school, which in a lot of the country is usually either mid-August or first part of September after Labor Day, after Labor Day. So that is a little bit of a quick recovery from broken back in, let's just say, September, to walking and practicing karate in December.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit quick. It takes a long time to recover from surgery and then physical therapy. So I mean, you do see, I think it was, which was it, this episode 7 or was it 8, where he tries to kick but he can't. So I do like that okay. So I do like that they show that not quite there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little fast.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is TV.
Yeah, it is TV. Is it? Did it when you saw Manny the actual kind of like timeliness of it? Did it upset you, take you out of it, or are you just like, it's TV, fuck it, whatever?
It's a wrestling injury, bro.
What's that?
It's a wrestling injury.
Oh.
Wrestlers get sent out on stretchers and they're back in 3 weeks. No, the reality was it kind of let me down a little bit, because I had faith in the writing team that they wouldn't do something as dumb as portray somebody to full health by the end of the season.
Yeah.
So it made me feel like it's at that point, because we're so far in now, that it made me feel like, oh, this is probably a setup season.
Exactly.
For a bigger event on season 4. So kind of my expectations for the rest of the season became a little bit lower, because I mean, to this point, we still have broken kids.
Yes.
All 3 of them, all 3 of our main protagonists. And so I couldn't see a situation where they would necessarily be ready for a tournament that soon, or whatever it is that they're going to be facing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a, but I mean, that's how shows are. There's even some big giant blockbuster movies that are just a big setup for something bigger, or something. So, you kind of just hope that you enjoy the ride.
Yeah, and we still we're only through episode 9 this podcast, guys. So there's still more to come. We're not divulging anything about episode 10, but believe it or not, Christine and I still haven't watched it yet.
Nope, I'm dying to.
Yeah. So it is a really nice scene, and again, it's stuff about Johnny, just like the show started out. That's why it was called Cobra Kai. It focused on his point of view, and it grew. Yeah, but it's fun. It reminded me a lot of season 1 and what really drew me to the show. Um, uh, then we get some more Sam and her family, and her not wanting to be a part of karate anymore. Her freak out at the fight where Dimitri got his arm broken has really taken hold of her. She wants nothing to do with karate at all. I I don't know, like, because I've got PTSD. I went back because I was, still in the army, and I had no choice, and everyone deals with things differently. I don't really know if I buy Sam wanting to be out of karate because of this situation. It seemed I don't know. I know what it was to set up. It's to set up the later conversation about fear and everything, but I just think she would have handled her fear differently. Manny, what do you think? Is she on character this time? Am I wrong?
Um, given that things are, I think that are piling up, I was okay with it, just because the thing what happened with Miguel, and and how she was able to before with Robbie to defend Dimitri. I think that her reaction and not being able to defend him, and this time something really bad actually happened. I mean that could be a really crippling blow to your self esteem, and then also just when you have panic attacks, it's because your body's telling you you're in danger, and you need it's a fight or flight, and depending on how you're feeling is which direction you're going to go, and obviously with the way she's feeling, it's a flight feeling, which is totally understandable.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't. I didn't feel that a character being who she is. She's not an aggressive person. So if she feels threatened like that, it's going to be more of a softer response.
She always felt to me as one of not necessarily correct, like in the end, that her choices necessarily ended up going down the best path, but she always seemed like a very resolved personality. Like, this is my ground. I'm gonna stake my claim and stand to it. And that's why I just kind of was like, yeah, I know that an experience can be that traumatic and take you from it. Take that type of attitude from you. But I'll say why it bugs me is because she gets it back so easily. That's why it kind of ruins the whole going down the order of events. But in order for me to explain why when I saw it and then it happens quickly, that she's like, okay, yeah, I'll accept karate now. That's why it felt out of character her for me. But I could also see it being a temporary thing for her in her mind. What did you think was going on, Christine?
Well, she hasn't seen Tori since that fight at school, so of course she froze. Makes sense, dealing with trauma, like you had said. We all deal with trauma differently. I think the conversation with her dad was therapeutic. I think she obviously needs more therapy, and I think if they had mentioned that, like, here, let's get you some counseling,
Yeah.
then it would make sense for her to feel confident enough after a little bit of time for her to want to get back into karate. Just kind of jumping in it. I guess it's just like it's just training right now. It's not sparring with anyone. So I mean, it didn't bug me too much.
Okay.
Or, well, not really. It didn't. I'd say it didn't bug me.
Cool.
I mean, we've seen her before when she gets uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
She would go to the dojo and she that's the reason why she started to pick it back up, you know, to make herself feel better. So I think with her dad doing the right thing really as a parent and taking her out of all of the everyday elements and really having a good conversation and trying to relate, you know, made her feel good enough to you know to go back to something that she liked in her safe space, which is the Miyagi-Do, with just by herself and her dad. I mean, if she's all of, you know, the first thing she does is with the group of people, then that is a little much. But I think the gradual sense of just being comfortable is I think what they displayed here. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I know what they were going for, especially when he gets her out on the boat to go fishing, Daniel and Sam.
Yeah, I do like how like the parents were like waiting for her in the kitchen. Like, oh God, that's such a parent thing to do. I just couldn't help but laugh. Like, yeah.
One interesting thing when Miguel gets back to school is he's been left out of the loop by everyone. And he finds out Sam's left him out of the loop, Tori's left him out of the loop, Hawks left him out of the loop. Everyone, even Sensei Johnny, has kept him out of the loop. He finds out about the golf and stuff, the Dave and Buster's fight. I think I called it last time. He finds out about that and is pretty upset about why no one, you know, told him. And he quits Cobra Kai, basically gives it all up. He's like, that's it. I'm done. I don't want jack crap to do with jerks. It's a tense situation in the school again because of this. You know, you have the Cobra Kai group that are all excited to see Miguel back and walking, and instead the first thing he wants to do is confront them about what happened with Hawk and Dimitri. I thought it was I think it's a great scene as far as for the kids to show off their emotion acting and again God the plays Miguel, how'd you say his name again? Sholo, thank you. He dude has got a future if he wants one. Really does, I think. Manny, what'd you think of that whole situation? Miguel's return to school and his confrontation with Cobra Kai.
You know, definitely plausible because obviously Robbie's not there because he's in jail, and Tori's not going to talk to him, and although he's been visited by Sam, you know, it's really they're kind of in that really awkward stage right now of trying to figure out what they are, you know, where they stand with each other, and so the only information you're going to get is from Hawk, and you know he's very, very broad and just kind of egging him along, thinking that he's still part of that Cobra Kai team, not really giving him all the details because I think he also knows that, you know, the kind of person he is. and the reaction that he would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be appropriate that he be kept 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 in the dark. Yeah, but it was nice to see them give him a warm reaction. But yeah, once you get back to class, there's that gossip, and there's classes with all kinds of people who are going to let you know every little bit of thing going on. But then again, I also think is there social media where some people might spill the goods, or what's the deal with that? Just that's interesting.
Yeah. What'd you think, Christy?
I think with these kids, they're just the emotions are just so high still. They're dealing with their own stuff. And Miguel is trying to heal. So he's, just naturally kept out of the loop. So yeah, Hawk would hide things, but I think like it just kind of maybe slipped their minds. And I don't know, like it's kind of weird that he wouldn't know that Dimitri has a broken arm, but it would make sense that he wouldn't know why just yet. So it was nice for Dimitri to fill him in, but yeah, I mean the reaction, of course. I mean, it was obvious that he was going to be done with Cobra Kai, but just to be done with his friends, it's like, yo, I'm just, obvious it was going to happen. Just when, and here it is now.
Yeah, Johnny comes and tries to save the day. Gives a good big speech about Kreese. When Hawk Eli challenges Johnny and tells him, oh, you failed us. You were soft before. Or I think he mentions Robbie again or whatever. Johnny fucking snaps right out. He's like, listen, bitch, you were fucking, what does he say, softer than a baby's ass or something like that.
Yeah.
When I met you, he's like, I made you, not Kreese. Two things on that. One, you didn't make Hawk, you inspired him, you led him, you mentored him, which allowed him to create what he did out of it for himself, which was then corrupted by what Kreese gave it. But two, yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. You did a lot for Hawk, a lot for Eli. You are a key reason he's Hawk, not Lip Guy. And Eli shows a look of regret, which we've mentioned before in episodes 1 through 6, just about he's got times where he's sort of like Miguel was last year with Kreese. And you can kind of see that with Eli, and you almost get this hope of seeing in season 4, unfortunately, maybe season 4, this hope of Eli, Dimitri, and Miguel, the three nerds, the three guys that we saw together first, that get separated in the first season. That those three together again would be really cool. What do you think, Christine?
I don't think that'll ever happen.
You don't think so?
No. And then something that I think that Johnny should have done was state how Kreese had hurt him. These are kids that are about to become adults, and you need to warn them and just, hey, this is what happened. This is how he treated me. He could do that to you. You need to get out, because their safety, and you never know when he's going to snap. And in the emotional abuse anyway, it's like, if you didn't want some of these people to be your star players, you could have just, like, I don't know, just still had them around, but not, be, the people that fight the best, but to kick them out completely. And, you're causing these people to choose between their friends. It's just like, it's insane. And
well, Kreese is a jerk, so we know that.
Yeah. And these kids, they need to know a little more about him, I think. So they can make a better decision. Because I think, like, right now, they're just, they're feeling a little trapped and they don't know how to get out. So I think if you just give them a little more information, that might be beneficial for them.
Okay, Manny.
No, I agree. I think they need a little bit of lesson of what that man has done, and then just kind of use the previous use an example of what had happened before. Because if you think about it, it was the injection of Kreese that really escalated things, and I think that they're smart enough to see that, that things were going well for them at Cobra Kai, and now they're having to make questionable decisions. They're not necessarily becoming better fighters and better people, but now they're actually almost fighting for their lives, for lack of better terms, within the gym, not their physical life, but for their spots. And so that's something that Johnny would have never done. He can use them, Hawk, as an example. I didn't give up on you, and look at you now, which he does in his way, but that's not a way to necessarily connect with a teenager.
No, not the best way at all.
I mean, it's a position that they've also put the kids into. So
yeah, I like the character of Johnny. I can't wait to talk about episodes 8 and 9 because there's more about him. But he basically tells him, hey, I'm gonna start a new dojo, Joe. We're going to do things right. I'm not gonna run away. I'm not gonna do the wrong thing. This, that, and the other. And then he tells the Cobra Kai kids, including Hawk, be at my dojo, which is the public park, because he couldn't afford any place else. Be there. And then we get to go spend a little bit more time with Daniel and Sam, which is really nice. It makes sense for Daniel to be the one to bring her back into the fold of Miyagi-Do, and how he did it with a fishing trip and then a trip to the gym to talk about his second tournament, not his first one, but where he almost lost to fear. And he tells her, fear is okay, fear is fine, but it's what you allow it. You can't allow it to control you. And these are words that we've all heard. I can tell you without a doubt that fear keeps you alive, and healthy fear is exactly that healthy. I have witnessed special forces before missions and seen them display fear, and it's because they know every time, just like we did, that could be the last time you're going out. And she accepts it. She learns from it. She kind of gets the message. My only question is, did either of you, and Christine, you can go first, did either of you want Amanda to be a bigger part of her, a bigger part of Sam's return or recovery? Are you upset that Amanda wasn't a bigger part? I'm personally not. I think it's fine for the dad-daughter. Amanda did the initial
she's a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, Amanda got the door open to finally listen that one time last episode, I think. But Daniel gets to take over. Christine?
Yeah. I think it's just whoever can reach the kid. It's not about both. I mean, it's great to have both involved, but you don't necessarily need that. Sometimes it's maybe just one parent. And sometimes it has to be like a certain situation you're having to guide the conversation instead of just sitting across from each other. It can make a teenager feel like they're being interrogated.
Yeah.
And that's not good, so it's just you reach that kid at their level and what they're comfortable with, and trying to tiptoe around it. Like she got upset, like, I knew this was going to happen, is what she said, and she wanted to go home. And so the dad tried again, and let's take another trip, and let me try to explain it this way. And so I liked how that went.
Yeah.
So
any issues with Amanda having kind of taken a step back as Daniel did what he did?
No, I think it displays really good parenting and really good communication, because of the fact that after she leaves the dinner table, I believe that's the scene. Amanda's quick to tell her, like, hey, she hasn't been sleeping well. She's she's this, she's that. But I think she's telling him fully knowing that he's going to be the one who has to take care of it.
Yep.
Because having realized it already herself, she could have easily have done something. But I think she knew that Daniel was going to be able to connect with her better than she was, given the situation. So it just shows good parenting. I mean, this is something that I'm very happy to say that although my daughter's mom and I are not together, we know who the right person is to talk to her about certain things. I'll get a phone call like, hey, this is what she's doing. I think you should talk to her about it. And vice versa. Hey, I think this is, so I think that you see that good, it's, so in other words, Amanda actually did the right thing.
Yeah.
She didn't necessarily try to say, I'm the super mom. Right? She has a very good handle on how to, she knows her family very well and how to handle them.
Well, when she doesn't get caught up in
punching people,
what's that?
Hitting people in the face.
Yeah. When she doesn't get caught up in Daniel's other messes. She does tend to. So yeah. Sam agrees to go ahead and says, yeah, I'll start, training again. One thing I forgot to mention while Cobra Kai was bullying Dimitri, who's in a cast because of the broken arm, Tyler, the Asian kid that Sam was dating in the first season before Robbie and Miguel, he was a bully of Hawk's before Hawk joined Cobra Kai. And he draws a giant dick and ball holes on Dimitri's cast, and that's pretty fucked up. But Yasmin comes by and kind of helps him out by writing in giant red letters, "I love your big dick, Yas."
That was funny.
I thought that was great. That and Johnny smacking the kids' books on the ground as he's walking.
Sorry, old habit.
Sorry, old habit.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh man, I did. It's great. But this episode ends in the park with the newly formed Eagle Fang Karate. What the fuck?
I know, it's so weird.
You didn't think eagles claw? The eagles actually have claws, but you just straight up put like vampire teeth in a fucking eagle's beak.
It's such a Johnny thing to do, though, if you think about it. Because he's like, what about a mongoose? He goes, real animals only, or something like that.
Yeah.
And he calls the snake the king of the jungle.
yeah, that was good.
Oh man. But Cobra Kai shows up with Kreese at the head. He offers, Johnny one more time, come back into the fold or not. Hawk tells Johnny, I'm Cobra Kai for life. although all season long we've been seeing him have these things, and that's why I keep saying I think I would be very interested on when writing and filming and all that in the schedule of the Netflix YouTube deal happen, because this really does feel like there's two different things going on in this one season. On one hand, it almost feels like they were going to try to wrap it up, like if it had stayed on YouTube, just been 3 seasons. And then, of course, when it got the Netflix thing, they immediately were like, yeah, season 3 and 4. And that's why I get so many weird feelings through this season. It's like, it's got so many great moments, but if you guys notice, we keep giving these episodes like B's and B minuses, and every now and then a C. Like I think I'm the only one that gave one an A once, and it's because of that feeling of setting up season 4, and that there's maybe too much going on here. But Kreese and Johnny, they're done for good. Johnny's done. No Cobra Kai at all. Kreese makes a shady fucking move, or throws shade about a student ending up in a coma, which is a knock on Johnny and Miguel. It's a tense scene, but fuck John Kreese, man. Fuck that guy. Christine.
Yeah, I mean that was the act of Robbie, and I mean it's clear that Johnny doesn't really have any influence on Robbie. So it's like, why would you throw that in his face? That's just dumb. And it was, I don't know, it's just, he's an ass.
Yeah.
That's all I can.
Manny.
Disagree with you a little bit on the fact that the Netflix influences. I think this was the approach that they wanted to take from the beginning, just because of the fact that I know that season 3 was filmed still while they were at YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean we were talking about the completion of the 3rd season 2 years ago.
Yep.
Before they decided to make the deal. I don't know about Creasy and everything that happened at the park. It was I'm not it's just Kreese really being a bully.
Kreese being
and
a bully.
there's really not much to it other than what you guys are talking about.
Yep. Other than the awesome Eagle Fang shirts, which I do want one. I give the show B+. Christine.
B-.
Manny.
B.
All right, we're all around the same. Episode 8, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to the good, the bad, and the badass. Sorry if you guys are hearing some knocking around and stuff because I keep hitting the mic stand. This is again a reset of season one, season 2. We're now at 3 dojos though. We're getting philosophy from the students and the teachers. We're seeing the differences in Daniel, Kreese, and Johnny, and we're learning how Johnny really has a lot of stuff in the middle, and that's something we've all been looking for, is that middle road, that meeting point that Johnny was trying to do with Cobra Kai at first, where he was like, I want what Kreese did that was good, but I don't want any of what was bad. And so yeah, episode 8 kind of almost feels like a reset. It's the first time we get to see Robbie in a while. Again, that seems to likely be the results of some of the YouTube Netflix deal, but we'll carry on. Robbie's done with his sentence. But both Johnny and Daniel show up when Robbie's released, but he really is not wanting jack shit from either of them. And off Robbie goes. It's gonna. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep our eyes on him into to episode 10 and season 4. Excuse me. Yeah, anyways, there's a bunch of like stereotypical little nerd and mean girls. Like school is back to normal almost. Like it's a reset, really. Doesn't it feel like it, Christine? This episode?
I didn't see that.
No, Manny? I'm telling you guys, I see there's this. I'm not saying like the whole thing is, but to jump ahead a little bit again, we're gonna see Robbie back on the bad side of things. We're seeing Sam get back into karate after having left it even for a day. And we have Johnny starting a new dojo. That's a fucking reset, guys.
I would say like a mild reset. Because, yeah, I mean, that makes, what you're saying makes sense. You're not going crazy. It's
Okay.
Yeah, it's like just a light reset.
And again, I think that's part of the YouTube Netflix thing. Now, do I make sense, Manny? No? Still no? Fuck you,
No.
Kyle. All right.
Sorry, Kyle. I'm going to be honest and disagree with you.
Go ahead.
No, I like I mentioned before, I think this has always been the plan. But, we're to the point where there's so much tension you have to cut some of it out. I think that one of the best things that they did in this issue I'm used to covering comics, excuse me. Miguel and Sam kind of kicking it off again. So as the healing begins for Miguel's legs, so does the healing for their relationship. So I think that was cool. And then we also see a payoff in Dimitri's attempts to swoon Yasmin.
Yep.
I love that line so much where he's all like, "Go kill some puppies, Cruella," and then he turns over to Miguel and Sam and is like, "I am 101% in love."
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. But so I don't. That's why I don't see it really as a reset, because we have three dojos. Robbie's out of prison and lost, and then we still have we kind of start seeing the other side of the hill after the events, because I'm sure we're going to cover this. Carmen has a conversation with Johnny about what happened, and so and then we see bigger consequences also with the council meeting, which we really need to talk about.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but I don't necessarily see it as a reset, as in this is now what we have going forward, thanks to all of the mess that we've created before.
Yeah, like some things just like revert back to what happened, like a little deja vu, but not
revert reset. Anyways. I'm not saying like I get where Manny's coming from, where this, what I'm calling a reset, was planned, and maybe it was, it might completely have been planned from the get-go, even on YouTube's side, but it still feels to me like everyone had this full circle moment, and I'm not necessarily against it. When I called it a reset, I'm not necessarily against it, because it's a chance, because like you said, the All Valley tournament meeting, which for the audience, you guys know, was canceled. That's why I'm calling it a reset, because now these kids are going to get a chance that they're all back. Miguel and Sam end up back together. Spoiler alert, you're listening to a review episode anyways. Robbie is lost and mean. Tori, mean, freaking Johnny starting over. Daniel and his wife are good to go. We've come almost full circle, but because of that All Valley meeting where a bunch of adults try to make a choice for the entire city's under 18 karate population, Kreese, Johnny and Daniel fail to save the tournament, and it ends up being Sam and Miguel that save it. And that's why I actually liked the idea that this is kind of like a reset, because now these kids get to seem to be a little bit more in charge of their life and their destiny. And that's the point that Miguel and Sam try to drive home to the city council during that meeting. But to get to that meeting, it's Self will take a break from, and we'll talk the Tori and Robbie conversation. Robbie, Tori basically, it gives Robbie the same spiel about, because they meet in the probation office. She gives him the spiel about, how terrible life is, but you got to do what you got to do. And then she tries to give him some advice on the paperwork and dealing with the probation officers and what they'll check on and what they won't. She seems completely, to me as a broken, hopeless case. Yes, she's at Cobra Kai this time because of what Kreese did for her, but I do believe she's a true believer in his philosophy when she's having this conversation with Robbie, which is obviously a recruitment attempt. Christine, what do you think?
Yeah, she says the line to Robbie, like, I know what I am, because Robbie had given her a dirty look, and that's like why she's a hopeless case, because even if someone came in and tried to help her, like, you have to you have to put in the work yourself. And I think like she's just so set in this is what she is, and that's probably not possible.
Good pick up on that line, Christine. This is what I know what I am. That's kind of depressing to hear a kid say, isn't it, Manny?
No, yeah, but she has all good reason to feel that way.
Yeah.
I do think that she's very unlucky and very unfortunate for, it's the same thing, I guess, adjective. The fact that she ended up with Miguel, who was really using her as a rebound, if you think about it. And that sucks. And for a teenager, that really sucks. Well, I mean, I guess it sucks for everyone.
To be fair, she did pursue him first. I
know, but it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
So I understand that, and I get it, but they did go out for a while, and they and then just the way that ended up, kid stuff,
kiss
obviously,
at the party and stuff,
yeah, I understand. And then at the beginning of the season 2, we got to see, season 3. The beginning of season 3, we got to see her home life.
Yep.
She's not going to feel any better.
Nope.
So she's continuously, has this crappy hand, whether or not she has a part in it or not. So, when she says, I know who I am, it's a very negative statement that she's making.
Yeah.
So I honestly, as bad as she is, I feel for her too, because the only person who's been able to necessarily be there for her consistently, but in a manipulative way, has been Kreese.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
And don't get me wrong when you say someone's broken, hopeless, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have sympathy or even the lack empathy for why they're broken or hopeless. But hopeless is a word that despite it meaning legitimately no hope, in reality, it's only hopeless when death is knocking. Until then, you're able to make up for almost anything on this earth. But she seems to accept herself as a broke and hopeless case. So, Johnny and Carmen. Carmen sees Johnny talking to Miguel, who wants to do who wants to be in the tournament. And Johnny's like, "Look, dude, you tried to do a kick earlier, excuse me, in training. It was a really weak kick. You're not ready. I can't have you get hurt, kid. You know, we'll do something else. The tournament being canceled is a good thing, you know." And Miguel's not having it. Johnny tells him, "Look, dude, you already won once," and he's like, "I need to win again." You know, he's got that teenage angst. And but Carmen witnesses Johnny being a dad and legitimately looking out for Miguel's well-being to the best that he can. And she brings him in, tells him that, you know, hey, when the accident from season 2 happened, I hated you, was angry, I blamed you, even though you did all that good stuff beforehand. But seeing Miguel, seeing him smile, seeing his recovery, the work you've put in, yada, yada, yada. She gives him a really good pep speech. She's like, "You are a sensei, you are a teacher, you are great for these kids." It's great for Johnny to hear that. What happens after is pretty good for Johnny too. But the I think she's a great catalyst, even going back to season 1 and him just having the hots for her. And then I think the season 2 double date was fun. But it's a great moment for her as an actress and him as an actor to get a intimate, and I don't mean the sex. That didn't look like it was going to be intimate at all. They broke a fucking TV. They're slamming doors and stuff. Why even
it's
close?
Been a while
why even close
for him.
the door? Like nobody else is there. Fuck it.
I don't know.
I liked the pep talk. Manny, what'd you think of it?
I liked when she said, you know, when she used the phrase, "How many other Miguels are out there?"
Yeah.
Because it really put it into it really let us reflect a little bit on what we saw in season 1, the Miguel we saw then, and the Miguel that we see now, who is now, he may not realize it sometimes, but he's also inspiring Johnny to get on social media, to go out and do things, and you know, it's a back and forth relationship between the two, and now you know, she's realizing how much he's grown. Carmen's realizing how much he's grown also because of that statement alone. It's just, you know, he's watching out for him. He wants the best for him, and she can see that. And at the same time, fucking hate it, man. Johnny has a kid who he should be practicing this with. So it takes me out of the moment because of the fact that of how much Johnny says he cares about Robbie, but at the same time, he's treating Miguel the way that he should treat Robbie. I mean, Robbie's a teenager. He's gonna be mad at him. But he has to deal with it. He has to take it. It seems like every time that Robbie gets all pouty and whatever, and tells him leave him alone, he goes, "All right, cool, I'll leave you alone." And then let's go over to Miguel where things are going great. And so from Robbie's point of view, I'm like, dude, I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
Because it's almost, this is a treatment I should be getting from my dad, but he's giving it to somebody else.
Oh yeah.
And maybe if Robbie started paying dojo dues, he'll treat him the same. But so that moment it goes back full circle to that moment for me where it's like, oh yeah, he's such a great, dojo, and they're like, no, but he's a shitty dad.
I think. No, you go first.
Okay, I was gonna say you can't give up on your kid. You have to keep trying. You have to keep putting in the effort. Like you were just describing. It freaking sucks for Robbie, and he does deserve better. And he had someone that he looked up to, and we're just not getting any information between Robbie and Danny. So it's like, what's going on there? Because I mean, if a kid tells you, go away, but you're their mentor, you have to still, like, every now and then, like, here, I'm still present when you want me. Even if they say again, you need to go away, and it's like, okay, all right, well, I'm gonna try again. I'm just letting you know, I'm not done here. Just, putting it out there, that's
I think that Daniel has done that a little bit, but the fact that he should be more supportive towards, hey Robbie, fix things with your dad, instead of your dad's a dick. Because it almost seems that way. I mean, when Robbie comes out of jail, what are they doing? They're almost nose to nose, they're bickering. Yeah. And so I mean, that doesn't help the situation at all. If Daniel really wanted to be there for Robbie, it's fine that he'd be there as you were saying, as that mentor, but being that mentor also means being the bigger person. And he's like, hey, you know what, Robbie, we're both here for you. Here's your dad. Because they obviously have we saw it at the end of season 1 when he takes Sam to the house. They're able to work it out sometimes, but it's because they're put in the same room and have that communication, instead of just, I'm walking away because you're such a jerk or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I agree that it's, somebody needs to be there for him. But it seems like anytime things get hard for Robbie, they're just like, all right, cool, peace. We got other people to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame Daniel because that's not his kid. If anything, the roles should be a little bit reversed.
Yeah, the biggest disappointment this entire season so far, and here we are on episode 8, has definitely been the lack of what was going on with Robbie. We got it that he was mad at Johnny, but we started this season with or Johnny, Daniel, and Johnny. We started this season with Daniel, Johnny, and Robbie's mom all working together to try to get him the best deal by getting him to turn himself in. We know that he refused to speak to Daniel. We don't know how often Daniel tried, or for how long he tried. We learn later, next episode, I think. No, actually, we learn towards the end of this episode that Sam did write Robbie, but Robbie stopped or didn't respond. And I must say, especially, yes, because Robbie isn't my kid. If I'm Daniel, me too. If I make, say, 15 consecutive daily attempts to contact, and each time I'm hung up on or refused, at that point, my last attempt would be, when you're ready, you know how to get a hold of me. And at that point, yeah, I too would stop trying to talk. So when Robbie gets mad and he's like, you know, people didn't come and see me, and dude, you are partially responsible for that. But like I said, I think a lot of Robbie was cut out of this season, and I think a lot of what you wanted to see, what we all would have liked to have seen, ended up on the floor to make more drama appear.
You mean increased background?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is something else that I wanted to add before we move on. Going back to the scene where Carmen and Johnny are hooking up. I feel bad for Carmen because he's been trying to reach out to Allie, and it's like you just know something's up. Like this is gonna hurt her, and it just freaking sucks because she deserves so much better. So yeah, I did want to get that out there.
Sada too.
Yeah, it's not it sucks for her. And then it's like, all right, Johnny, don't. Yeah, I'm gonna second that as well.
Christine, do we get a third?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing I'll add is, remember Robbie could have answered emails.
Yes.
And then finally, when he decides, he has an epiphany, he's had enough, and he wants to respond, is when he gets his ass whooped. And no, they didn't. They just unplugged the computer, or that's what then. I don't remember anymore. Anyway, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, they did unplug the computer, but I think maybe the guard had shown up before an actual fight happened. I think that's when that happened.
Yeah,
I may be getting a little confused.
And then I think later on he comes back and starts the fight that gets him the I didn't snitch. Did you snitch? No. And then we thought we were gonna get more Robbie in jail stuff, but we didn't. Anyways, go ahead and continue. Whoever was supposed to.
It's Manny.
Oh,
Manny?
yeah. So, I agree with you guys in blaming Robbie a bit for all of this too. But at the end of the day, he's still a teenager.
Yep.
There's adults here who claim to be able to enhance and inspire teenagers with karate. Yet we have this one poor kid who is just, and I mean, what we've seen him in season 1 and 2, we've seen his growth. We've seen him being able to grow and to be a better person. But some people failed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's different when it comes to Sam and Robbie, because you can't expect Sam to keep trying. She's a kid too. And, like for me, if I was in her head, I'd be like, I guess the relationship's over. He's forgotten all about me. He's done. So with the whole scene with Sam and Miguel sparring, and then
we're not there yet.
We're not.
No, we're going to do the meeting. We got to talk about how.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll get back to that.
Yeah. We're just we're not there yet.
Okay.
Anything else before we get to the meeting?
No, I want to get to the meeting.
All right, so let's get to this meeting. All right, guys. The All Valley tournament's going to be canceled. Daniel's got a plan. Johnny's got a plan. Thanks to Carmen, who tells him, "Go do what you do. Go fight." I really wanted to hear her say, "Go strike first. Go strike hard. Go show no mercy." I would have written that in, but because it would have reminded him of the good parts of Cobra Kai that he was starting. And anyways, she still gets him to there. You got Amanda there, like all these adults. The intro to the meeting is a guy complaining about the city's
manhole cover,
manhole renaming scheme, which is a legitimate thing that has happened in cities across the country.
I know, it's like you're using this time to so small
of all the things, but it's a funny statement, and I get the feeling that some of the writers are not necessarily the most. They're not necessarily the biggest fans of what some call PC culture. You know what I'm saying? Politically correct culture. I'm not either. Fuck. It's a goddamn manhole. Get the fuck over it. But I like it because it's a funny thing because that legitimate scene has happened in city halls across America. Why? You've got kids that need more school stuff. You've got streets with potholes, and you're fucking
arguing about a name of a hole.
Fuck
you. It's like, yeah, let's,
Anyways, the adults, it's another sign of that old mentality and old people and young people and blah 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 blah. When it comes time to talk about the tournament, they show Kreese come up first. He tries to use his military career, calls himself captain. Daniel tries to be Daniel. Amanda breaks in to help back Daniel's claims up that Kreese is, a jerk, a piece of shit. Kreese reminds her that there's a restraining order. They have Amanda removed. Johnny starts speaking. He's going in on Kreese like nobody's fucking like, dude. I was like, yeah, go, Johnny, get it. And then Miguel walks in.
Yeah, because the council person was telling them to leave.
Mm-hmm. Was telling them that their bickering
is the reason
why the karate thing shouldn't go on. Again, you adults are going to be the reason why these kids lives suck, and us adults are going to continue to make these kids' lives suck. When Miguel walks in, it's, I almost feel like maybe that was supposed to be the big reveal that he could walk. I don't know, maybe not. But he's the one that comes in and he gives a speech. He starts a speech with Sam eventually coming to join him. It deals with exactly what he went through, being bullied, seeing other kids be bullied, what karate did for him, what the training, the discipline did, what kids are lacking today. They talk about a need for resilience, so that way that kids can deal with bullies. And Sam makes a big point about them, about kids needing to be able to deal with bullies mentally and physically, which is a key. I'm 36. She's 33. You're 30. What? 20? What? Manny?
I'm 32.
32. You're about to be 33.
Did you just say I was in my 20s?
No, I said you're 30 something, 20 something. What?
Damn. Okay.
What are you?
For a second, I thought you were giving me a great compliment for a second.
I said 32.
32.
Okay. See, you're very, very close. So all of us come, probably from, well, me and her definitely come from parents that were at the very end of baby boomers. Are your parents similar? They were almost Gen X.
I don't know if I'd call them baby boomers, but
they were at the borderline.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the three of us, or the three of us, we got some resiliency when we grew up. We got tough love. We didn't always get the trophies, but we did witness that as we became teenagers. We started seeing the beginnings of that. And that's why the rest of our generation, the younger millennials, are very different than especially the guys like me that are, you know, pushing 40 that really borderline Gen X. Guys, for real, resiliency, please give it to your kids, okay?
It's very healthy.
Please. It is so important that a kid, a human being needs to be able to hear, you fucking suck, you weak pussy, and be like, okay, whatever, and go about their business. They need to be able to learn that type of skill, that resiliency, because someday somebody is going to come and call them a fucking pussy and potentially punch them in the face because they're a bully, and they're going to need both the physical and the mental resiliency. Manny, you've wanted to talk about these kids and them taking control of their lives, buddy. Go nuts.
No, so what I wanted to talk about is that city council meeting is absolutely bogus. The fact that Miguel walks in, makes a statement, and they're like, sure, we're gonna go ahead and not deal with all of the things that have happened within the city the last few months. You know, the attack on Miguel, and I'm sure that, you know, some of the other things were reported. You cannot tell me someone did not report the whole thing that happened with Dimitri at the arcade, and then even what happened at the car wash and things like that. You know, the fact of the matter is that the karate culture, and based on the testimony of all three of them at the community center, it should be more than enough proof that what they were doing is right to cancel the tournament. Obviously, then you don't have a show, and you don't move forward, so you can't do that. You have to have some weird, inspiring talk by Miguel, who is hobbling down, you know. And while I understand that, yeah, they do need to have a place to vent and to have the opportunity to fight, the moment wasn't the appropriate one. You know, there needed to have been consequences for all of the actions of all three gyms. Well, two gyms, but because technically Eagle Fang hasn't done anything except make small T-shirts.
Done anything other than horrible Photoshop of the vampire teeth into an eagle's face. No, I mean, I get, it's complete suspension of belief. I agree on that. But like you said, writing wise, because of the deal that was going on and the stuff that you know and I know and I'm sure everyone else is seeing, this had to be it, and it had to be these two. This had to be the vehicle. I don't see another vehicle for these two kids, or for the kids to get control of their lives, to come out and say, you know, about the need that they're the ones that are being hurt, they're the ones that are affected because of what the adults are doing. So why not give us a safe place to do it? But you are right that they don't deal with some of the things that have happened. But you did have Robbie go to juvie and what's her name get expelled. There were some Tori. So some things happened. Not enough explanations. And now that we didn't get any additional crease background in 7, 8, and 9, that was a waste of time and pisses me off now.
Jeff.
So, but in besides the fact that you really have to spend a lot of belief for it, did you appreciate the message of Miguel and Sam? Manny?
I don't think it's the right moment.
Yeah, I got moment. I got that. I'm saying the message. The message.
The message is right, but I felt that it was overshadowed by, you know, and I guess I think like more of an adult, as far as, you know, no, that tournament should not happen. Because if I was on that council, I would have not voted for that.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I understand their pleas and their plight for it, but at the same time, I don't think that a tournament at the time was going to be the right thing, because all it's going to do is create a more hostile environment in that county.
I would have, if I could go back and write this. I only took karate for a few years, but there's something early in season 1 that Daniel mentions, and that's kata. And kata is it's a way to show off your form for all of your moves. They are choreographed. There's specific ones for specific things that show off specific sets, strikes, defense, this, that, and the other. When I competed, there were two sides to karate competitions. There was the kata, and there was the sparring, the actual fighting, and then you have little competitions like board and brick breaking and stuff like that. But I would have challenged it. Maybe I would have had Daniel or Sam bring up, why don't we change it this year? Instead of a fighting tournament, let's do a kata tournament, and let's show off what Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do can do, and we don't have to fight in order to do that. And there's doubles kata. There's you can do it in a lot of really cool, unique ways. If anyone's ever studied karate, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if Taekwondo, I'm sure Taekwondo's probably got something similar. It might be something called different, but I know a lot of the Chinese ones do similar. So, but yeah, that's what I would have done. Let's see here. They get the tournament reinstated. Miguel and Sam have a sparring match that ends up showing that shows Robbie that they are communicating together. He comes in on it. I called it. I said he was going to walk in on it. And they hadn't kissed. They were almost there, but not quite. They were still, training at the time. But that's where she pushes him away from confronting Miguel. And Robbie runs off, and what we see is him going into Cobra Kai and wanting to speak to Kreese. I gave the episode a B. Manny?
Oh, I should have already had that answer. Let's go back to me for a second.
Okay, Christy.
I gave it an A-.
A-. So you thought it was a little bit better than me? What did you really like?
Just the I liked it better than the previous episode. I liked the meeting, had some funny parts, and yeah.
You just liked watching
I liked watching all of it. Yeah.
Carmen and Johnny get it on.
No. I liked her speech, but like I said, she could do better.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give it a B-.
B-. All right, guys. So off we are to episode 9. Feel the Night. Allie is back in Los Angeles for the holidays. She messages Johnny, wants to meet for lunch. Robbie is over at Cobra, over at Cobra Kai, where he got to stay the night, and of course Kreese has got some stuff to say to him and try to recruit him and stuff like that. Christine thought, holy crap, Robbie knows Miyagi-Do. he might end up teaching Cobra Kai how to beat Miyagi-Do. And I was like, wow, Christine, that's really, really good point. She's letting the dog out right this moment. So we'll have to remember to give her kudos. But then I also brought up, I was like, you're right, which would be great because there's new Miyagi-Do training that Sam has been getting that Robbie doesn't know about. So there you go. I think my wife picked up on something great. And I think that I hope that the new Miyagi-Do stuff comes into play. We were just complimenting you on getting the fact that Robbie knows Miyagi-Do and could teach Cobra Kai that.
I'm very smart.
Kreese, of course, or Eli does not like having Robbie there and tries to have a conversation with Kreese about it. Kreese makes the stereotypical comment about the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's where you kind of it's not even kind of like it's just right there. Like, I don't see how any kid could trust this guy. He just admits to your face, I'm using you and these other kids. Manny, I mean, did he not?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't get it, but I guess if you have that kind of badass mentality, you're gonna kind of like the same way that younglings follow older gangsters and things like that. You get jumped in and things like that, and you're like, yeah, it's gonna make me tougher. It's gonna make me a badass too. So that I'm thinking that's almost the same mindset.
Yeah. It's just that like I don't know. These poor kids. Tori, of course, keeps up the recruiting effort. Johnny and Allie's lunch starts out really awkward. Johnny trying to show off that basically he's been stalking her by ordering a vegan plate and shit like that, and then she orders a cheeseburger, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll have a cheeseburger." And we get to learn that she's going through a separation. She's got kids. They're teenagers as well, I think, or maybe they're in college or something like that. One wanted to do ballet or some shit. But she's definitely, she mentions to her mother at the very beginning of the episode, so that she plans on seeing, or that she's got plans, which is bad news for Carmen, right, Christine?
Yeah.
Do you really think it's bad news for Carmen?
I do. I don't know what it is about Allie, but she's got this hold on Johnny, and I think Danny a little bit, but I mean, he's faithful to his wife, but it's kind of like that nostalgia feeling, like, oh yeah, we had this great relationship. So it's just something about her. She was their first loves, both Johnny and Daniel. So
yeah. First ones usually don't last. Every now and then they do, but I don't know, Manny. Is Carmen in trouble with Allie?
All kinds of red flags, man. I mean, what we've seen him sending messages since.
Oh yeah.
Who knows when.
He liked all her pictures and stuff. But at that point, Carmen was at a distance. So when he as of even the end of episode 9, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. So long as in the next episode, if he doesn't do anything physically with Allie, he is open with Carmen. Hey, old high school girlfriend came back into town yesterday. We had lunch. We went and played at the arcade like we did when we were kids. She invited me to this party, and that was the end of it. And then whatever those two discuss, that that could be, but yeah, there's a lot of red flags, like you said.
This is Johnny Lawrence, though. We've seen
Johnny
him,
fucking Lawrence.
we've seen him make many miscommunication errors already.
Exactly.
So,
so I don't think it's gonna go great, and you could definitely tell that Allie, or at least it seems like Allie is definitely into him until they talk about their kids, and then it looks like they're gonna kiss, and then they don't, and then you think the tension's over, but then it isn't, and there's this phone call, and she's got to go, and she mentions the party, and he agrees to go to the party. We'll get to the party in a minute because we got to talk about the zoo. But just Johnny and Allie's relationship date, Christine, where do you see it going? Did you enjoy the conversation? I actually kind of don't like this at all and feel it's almost 100% for season 4 horror.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine for Allie. She doesn't know about Carmen yet, and it's when it comes to relationships, it's like you need to be a little more open. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh well, you know, Johnny and Carmen aren't exclusive, but that's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like she knows, like, or he knows that she's into him, that Carmen really likes Johnny, so it's like he needs to get his crap together. So yeah, I didn't enjoy it because yeah, I know the disaster that's going to happen.
Like I said, he could she could still, Carmen could still be upset that he did go and have this lunch date after they had sex. But in my mind, as long as he is immediately, because she goes off to work, it's not like he can tell her, hey, I've got this lunch now, you know. As long as he's honest about it, he could be in the clear. But like Manny said, it's Johnny Lawrence. He's gonna fuck it up somehow, somewhere. Even if he doesn't touch Allie, even if he doesn't breathe the same air as her,
it's emotional.
He's gonna fuck it up. So let's talk about the zoo. Robbie shows up at the zoo at Tori's invitation with some other Cobra Kai kids. They want to get a present for their sensei, which doesn't make sense because it's a snake, and don't they already have a snake?
I know, right? That was weird.
Yeah, I found that scene completely unnecessary. I didn't really think it did much.
Yeah, literally, guys, all that happens is they go in and they show that Tyler, I almost called him Taylor. Tyler forgets the snake pole while Hawk had the bag. Hawk and Tyler argue a bit. Security guard sounds like they're coming. Everyone runs except Robbie, and then out comes Robbie with the danger noodle in a sack. I almost said a snack. I've had snake before. You ever eaten snake?
No, closest thing I've had is eel.
Okay. Snake's actually really, really good. Gotta be careful with bones though. Anyways, don't do the snake blood shot. It's disgusting. Yeah, and that's literally what happens, and that almost feels like it is out of place, a waste of time, fucking filler. I don't know, guys. Like I said, there is a great season here in season 3. There is somewhere buried, and my only hope is that, first off, that episode 10 is good, but that Netflix delivers with season 4 and gives us what we were hoping would be all we would get for season 3, but instead we only got in pieces of season 3, which is good storytelling. Crease talks to Cobra Kai about Miguel and Sam, further fucking up the kids' minds, while Sam makes a parent trap type plan to bring the Eagle Fang kids over to Miyagi-Do, to her parents' house, to basically say we need to work together because of the danger that Cobra Kai poses. And the episode ends with Johnny showing up to the party in a white suit, very, very 80s. And he sees Allie hugging Daniel, which you can see him get angry, upset, and all of that. Us, the audience, we've already seen Daniel meet an ex-girlfriend and do absolutely nothing inappropriate. So I have faith that Daniel's and Amanda are safe, that there's no issues here, that Daniel's hugging an old friend.
Yeah.
But Johnny's going to fuck it up, right, Manny?
Oh, yeah.
How's Johnny going to, if you don't know and you were going to guess, how would Johnny fuck this up? With fist, with a beer, or with his mouth?
You know, the funny, I can't say anything because I feel like if I say something, you're saying that's not it. And so it'll eliminate a possibility. Exactly. So I'm just going to go ahead and plead the fifth.
With you. That's why I brought the beer thing, because we all know exactly what's going to fuck things up. It's going to be Johnny's mouth. I mean, come on, that's what's gotten everybody everywhere here. It's been people's mouths not communicating with their brains right.
If I had to guess, I would say that it's, he's going to say some things where things are going to be like, he's going to build some tension, things are going to be awkward, and he's going to make things uncomfortable, but I don't think it's going to be like a giant argument. I think it's just going to be, snap here and then snap back, and, well, a little bit of that maybe.
To me, the deciding factor will be if I see Amanda at the party or not. That's going to let me know the way things will go. If Amanda's at the party, I think things will be mostly verbal. Dan or Johnny will probably end up storming off, but I don't think there'll be any big issues. If Amanda's not there, I think they might actually try to play with the idea of Daniel remembering his feelings. So
no, I don't think so.
All in all, this episode, I kind of have to give it a C+. It's got moments that are good. But there's just so much that's like, you guys fucked up something somewhere here and needed to go back to the editing room. Manny, what do you think?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a C-.
C-.
I think it's too late in the season to have a character like Allie show up.
Yeah, we've been waiting on her.
And we have one episode left. So what is that really going to do for our, full circle story, especially now that she's taken up so much time in this episode? And I think that another character like Robbie deserves a little bit more time on screen. And then also one thing that I mentioned to the actors too, I like Carmen deserves a little bit more screen time as well.
Yeah.
Because thanks to Daniel and stuff, we've been able to see Amanda a fair amount of time and get to know her very well. I mean, she had that outburst also at the council meeting where she got kicked out. And I don't feel like we know Carmen well enough, but we do know her enough that we feel super bad for her for everything that's going on with Johnny because of the potential of where it can lead.
Yeah.
So, and then also it also has some scenes that really do anything for us. I mean, what they were conveying at the zoo was just things we already knew.
Yeah.
Like like you guys mentioned, they already have a snake also. Like if you're going to do something for them, do something that's going to have a little bit more meaning. Like break into Miyagi-Do and steal something from there, or something with something more impactful than that.
It's
For Kreese.
almost like maybe the snake theft was supposed to happen at the beginning of the season, and then they refilmed it or something to add Robbie in. I don't know. It's out of place. It feels
the episode really doesn't feel like it's leading up.
Yeah.
To an episode 10, which is exactly what's going on. So it's really it's a bummer because you can't expect too much from the next episode based on what we have so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it would things would have to escalate super quickly in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Very true.
I did like the Miguel and Daniel conversation.
Oh yeah.
That was nice.
In the car, about the car, and in the car, Miguel getting Daniel's point of view of Karate Kid 1 and 2. I actually like that. She's right. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's why it gets a C+.
Yeah, I went with C+ as well. I didn't say that yet.
So good job. All right. Well, guys, we got one episode left. So next week will be a definitely shorter episode. We'll cover episode 10, and we'll discuss a little bit about what we expect to see in season 4. And of course, you guys will be able to keep up to date when season 4 will be released, and any special goodies and interviews that we get at lrmonline.com, as well as our YouTube page. Just search LRM Online on YouTube, and then hit that subscribe button and that bell so you can be notified every time one of our 20 shows and 1,000 interviews a week goes up. Your phone's going to be ringing, but you're going to be happy. And of course, our podcast channel, amazing shows such as this one, LR Mornings, Breaking Geek Radio, Anime Versal Reviews, Cantina Review. I can't. And I got a special surprise for everyone next week, as long as I don't die of this cold between now and then. Christine is still our resident anti-social media badass. So if you guys want to say anything to her, leave it in the comments or shoot me a message at that Kyle Malone on Twitter, or at that one, that's the number one, at that one Kyle Malone on Instagram. Manny, where can people tell you how right I am about the reset?
So before I do that, I just also want to point out something you guys don't even know, is that on Thursday, same day we dropped this, I will be also dropping an interview I did with Han Soto, who is the actor who plays the general in the Vietnam back.
Okay.
The general who
right.
makes Kreese kidnaps them in the flashback. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. So I interviewed him last Friday, and I'm going to post that up on the same day just to fill your Cobra Kai hearts with more content.
There you go, guys. Go. We're so sorry for missing last week. I was a pussy. I'm sorry. I won't let it happen again, guys. I won't. Actually, probably it will sometime in my future, because whenever I get the cold, I fucking get the cold, and it tries to kill me. So, but other than that, don't fuck shit up between now and then. Get back here for next week, because I need your fucking money. And yeah, don't be a fucking pussy.